We are going to be talking about essays, grading, and feedback. Have you ever assigned an essay and looked at the pile afterwards and thought to yourself, what have I done? Been there, done that. We assign writing because students need the practice, right? We know that it matters. We want them to develop ideas, organize their thinking, support their claims, explain evidence, revise their work, all of it. And then suddenly we have 60 to 70, maybe even 100 essays sitting there waiting for our feedback. And the expectation that we're going to give meaningful, intentional feedback on every part of every essay, it just isn't realistic, especially this time of year. Let's be honest, we are exhausted. A lot of us are just trying to make it to the end of the year in one piece. So, I want to share a shift in thinking that helped me continue assigning meaningful writing without putting all of that grading pressure on myself. Every time you assign an essay, you do not have to grade the whole essay as a whole essay. You can choose to grade a specific skill. Whatever skill you're focusing on, that is what you assess. If the lesson focus was evidence, then the only thing you're going to be grading is the use of evidence. That doesn't mean the rest of the essay doesn't matter. It means you're choosing one meaningful, targeted part of the writing so that your feedback is clearer, faster, and more useful to the student. Instead of marking everything with your red pen, grammar, organization, thesis, transitions, evidence, sentence fluency, formatting, you might decide, I'm going to grade the introduction, or I'm going to grade how evidence is used and explained. That's it. Now your feedback is focused and students understand what you're looking for. And they're more likely to actually use that feedback because they're not overwhelmed by the 20 to 25 different corrections given to them all at once at the end. And honestly, this isn't just about us. It's about making the feedback more usable to the students. You don't have to wait until the final essay to start grading. You can grade pieces of the essay as students are working. Thesis statement, topic sentence, introduction, one body paragraph, maybe two, the conclusion, revision work, not the whole essay, just one piece at a time. So by the time the students submit the full essay, you've already seen most of their thinking. You already know where they've struggled. You've already given feedback, and you can tell whether or not they've applied the feedback that they've received. This makes your grading more meaningful and your feedback more timely because the students are getting feedback while they're writing, not after they're done. When feedback only comes at the end, it often doesn't get used. Students look at the grade, and the comments don't always go further than that. They're just comments. But when the feedback happens during the process, it helps shape the writing while it's being developed. I absolutely encourage assigning the full essay. Students need that practice. They need to practice building a complete piece of writing. But that doesn't mean that every essay has to be treated like a full diagnostic assessment every single time. Sometimes a grade is just for a specific skill. The final essay is a completion check, and the real feedback happens along the way. That's not lowering your expectations, that's making your assessment more intentional. This is a big part of how I think about writing instruction with the Quiet Hare. The goal is not to create more grading for teachers. The goal is to create clear writing practice for students and more manageable assessment for teachers. Because students need structure and teachers need sustainability. So if you're staring at a stack of essays or planning your next writing assignment, try this. You don't have to grade everything every time. Pick a skill, chunk the process, and look at the writing before the final draft. Let the final essay become evidence of growth instead of a mountain of untouched feedback. That's the kind of shift that makes essay grading and assigning a lot more doable. Thanks for watching, and keep up the good work.